Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit what goes on in the kiln room here. Once your pieces are painted, we bring them back here, and these are pieces I have that are ready to go into the kiln once they get glazed. Got some mugs over here. Lots of Believe mugs will get going. Got 3 kilns here. We've got, this is our newest one. His name's Lennon. And then we have this one over here. That's also a small one, and that's Picasso. And our large kiln, which is 15 years old, is Einstein. So those are the 3 kilns we have. And before things can go into the kiln, they have to be glazed. And here's our glaze tubs. So it's a great big vat of, it's tinted blue, but it actually is a clear glaze. And before I can dip things in there, I have to mix it up. Let me see. This is kind of going to be loud, so I'm just going to do a quick mix. Okay, I got that all mixed up really well. We mix it for about a minute, gets it all mixed up really well. And now we're going to glaze some pieces. So I have some pieces over here on the drying rack. I'm just going to start with this lemon pitcher here, and I'll try to get we'll just do a quick dip in and out. Get all of that out. Need to let it drip. Shake it. So just shaking all that excess off of there, and then it'll dry kind of a blue tint. That was a really big piece. This little gnome guy. Let's see, I'm just gonna, and I only can dip about half. So I dip it, shake it, needs to dry. So we have these drying racks here. That's going to sit on, and then I'll do that to all of these pieces. Once I have them all half glazed, I turn a fan on. It takes about an hour for them to dry. Then I'll come back and do the second half of the glaze, and then it's going to look like this plate, completely blue, ready to go in the kiln. That one's all dry. It's been glazed. Got a few mugs down here. They look blue. If you look at that, kind of see that it says Believe on there, but that's been glazed. It's ready to go in the kiln. So once I have everything glazed, then we'll start loading the kiln. Okay, so now I'm ready to do a second dip. So what I do with these is, you can see right there where my first dip went, and I'm going to make that second dip, and I want to just come right up to where my other dip was with as little overlap as possible. So you can kind of see what I got going there. And I just grab my next piece. So dip this, and I want it to just come up. We call it kiss it. So very little overlap there. And then just like on the first one, first dip, I want to shake it, let it drip, and put it back here to dry. And I'm going to do that and go through here and do a second dip on everything. And then we'll let them dry in front of the fan for about an hour, and we'll be ready to load the kiln. Okay. I'm going to show you how I load the kiln. So this is the bottom of the kiln that you're seeing here. This is Einstein, and these are just posts we have in here. There's a post that I'm going to set shelves on. So I always start with my largest piece, my tallest piece usually. So this is what I'm looking at putting in here. It's a real tall vase. I'm going to use what we call a stilt. And see these little here, it has really sharp prongs on it. And I'll sit that on the bottom like that, and then I'm going to just put this over in the corner. I need to stay an inch away from the walls, an inch away from the posts, and then fit pieces in kind of like, people say it's like Tetris, but here's a 3-prong one. I'm going to put it on this piece, and I just kind of get it balanced there in the middle. I'm going to turn it over like this, and then I'm going to fit it in there like that face. And I always make sure they're really stable so they don't fall over. If they fall over, not good. Next I have a lemonade pitcher. And I'm going to, so I'm just doing half of this here. I'm going to fill this up, and if I have little spots where I see a drip where the glaze went, like right there's a drip, I need to sand those off. So I've got what's called a sanding stick. Probably got a different name, but that's what we call it. It's a sanding stick. So I'm just knocking some of those drips off. Again, I find a stilt that's going to fit. I'm going to fit it in here. Again, keeping at least an inch between pieces, making sure I'm stable in there. I'm good. I'm looking for my tall pieces. Got all different sizes of stilts. Here's a small one. It's going to fit on the bottom of this little tea mug. Really nice. So if it's not stable, it's going to do that kind of thing. So that's what I sit it down here. I do not want it to fall. All right, so I got room for one more piece there. Sand off some pieces, and I'm going to fit the bottom of this here, and so then I can put a shelf on top of this so I can get some above. So that's what our posts are for that you see right in there. However, my pieces are taller than the post I have, so I need to add to it. So I have all sizes of post. So I'm going to start with, see how many I need. And it should clear an inch above the shelf too. So what I do, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I take this little ruler. Yeah, you can. Okay, and as long as my finger fits under there nicely, I've got a good inch. Then I can get that shelf on. So these shelves are pretty heavy, but fit that on there just like that, and now I'll be able to put some more pieces here. So I can do, like you're gonna, on this other side here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue filling this side up. I will have a little bit shorter post there. So I'll probably end up with 2 shelves there. Okay, so different levels. Plates obviously don't need as much height, so I'll have some plates in there and things, and then we'll have it all loaded. I'll show you what it looks like once it's loaded. So I almost have it loaded here. As you can see, I've got 4 plates on the top here. I've got a little bit of space. I've just set these little magnets here on the edge because I'm going to fit those in where I've got space here. Get these last little guys in. So you can see, like I said, I've got little stilts. I can put these on These are all different magnets we have. We'll put a magnet on them after they come out of the kiln, but they'll all fit in around all these pieces. There's a palm tree, that's a popular one right now. Starfish, another beach one. I think these were painted. Cupcake. Where am I going to fit him? Okay, those all fit in there nicely, so you can see that's what we got. It's filled. I'm ready to put that lid down, and got a control panel out here. It's all electronically ran, so the temperature, I've got a couple plugs I have to put here in the side. Put this lid down, super heavy. And then I'm just going to program it here. Like I said, it's all programmable. I do a slow glaze, cone 06, no hold, it's complete, and I can start it, and it's ready to go. It is going to run for about 6.5 hours. It will click on and off like that for the next 6.5 hours, and that's just that temperature going up. There's thermocouples in there that I guess regulate it, or relays, or something that does it. I only know what they are because I have to replace them occasionally. But anyway, it's in there it fires for about 6.5 hours, but it's about 20 to 24 hours after I start it that I can open it. So we're gonna let this fire overnight, and then we'll fast forward 24 hours and open the lid and see what we got there. Okay, fast forwarded 24 hours, and we are ready to open the kiln. We have to make sure it's under 200 degrees, and that right there says 140 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and open it. It tells me that it fired for 6 hours and 21 minutes, so that should be a good fire. The top temperature is 1800 degrees, so it's pretty darn hot. But yep, we're going to open it up and see what we have here. Lots of lemons. Lots of lemons. Fun. Take a peek at it that way. I'm going to see what we got there. So, if you remember, I put everything on a stilt. So now I have to make sure that stilt, so I have to have these cooled to the touch, and even a little cooler than that, just because of temperature change. So these are nice and these are cool. So but I have to make sure that stilt doesn't stay there on this. So there's that stilt, and the back of the plate where those stilts were. I don't know if am I showing you that? Yeah. So there's these tiny little marks, and we just take that sharp point off right there where that was sitting, just so you don't cut yourself. And then I just start emptying each piece and put it on. I have a shelf set up over here, so I'm just going to load that shelf up with all this pottery out of the kiln. It eventually gets bagged and put on those shelves that you see all back there. Okay, so a couple more pieces here. These little pieces here, that stilt stuck there, just have to kind of make sure it comes off of there. Sand the back. And just go through and get everything. I do that every layer to this, and I'll get all the way down to the bottom, and then I'll call you and let you know your pottery is ready. So that's the whole process.